Nothing? Wow. Wow. No answer!
So,
I low-key want to switch my pick off the Packers, but they're playing the Cardinals, so I can't.
I hear you. Well,
Oh,
welcome back to Nick's Picks, everybody. We are in week 6 of the NFL season, and if you're wondering why we don't have a special guest, well, you just saw it. We have to everybody roast slower in the comments. I mean, we're recording this right now. We have our recordings typically take anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes, so he has that long.
time.
He has some time. Maybe you'll see slower. If you do end up seeing slower, the intro to this video won't really make much sense.
That's called foreshadowing.
So let's get right into it. It is Nick's Picks. It is week 6. Ben, you got a great win out of the Falcons this week, so obviously you're doing pretty well. You said you were going to be coming in very disappointed or very unhappy if the Falcons didn't manage to win this game, and they managed to pull it off. And you got a super happy me. I
was like, yeah, you won too.
But we'll get into all that. Before we get into the recap, though, let's get into the score. Ben, you did catch up a little bit. There were quite a few differs last week in which you got right. I did end up getting one differ right, I think. I was up 4 last week. I'm only up 1 now. It is 46 to 47. Still have the lead. Let's get straight into the recap. We start with the Falcons game. Yeah, I didn't think that your offense would show up quite as much as they did. Kirk Cousins. I definitely have to give some props to Kirk Cousins for how he played in this game. And I can't even say that Tampa did anything bad. Honestly, these look like two good teams that played each other on Thursday.
Yes, we won, but like, I'm telling you this right now, if they lost the coin toss, Atlanta was not winning. Whoever won that coin toss for overtime won the game. That's just how I looked at it, because like, neither defense was, like I said, I believe in the defense for Atlanta. Neither defense did jack shit.
So moving into the Sunday afternoon games that happened, I mean, the really interesting one was the Bengals and the Ravens. I really thought the Bengals were going to pull this one out, and honestly, they would have if their holder knew how to hold a fucking football. Derrick Henry went off, Lamar Jackson went off, Joe Burrow went off, Jamar Chase went off. Like, this is the kind of game you expect out of a Ravens-Bengals matchup. It's not the kind of game we've gotten.
If Atlanta Bucks wasn't game of the week, this game was like that times 10. Like, both offenses were going off.
Speaking of offenses going off, I mean, again, on paper, the Washington Commanders are not putting up like insane stats, but they're blowing the fuck out of teams.
Oh no, is it their defense? Like,
their defense has been playing well. Their offense has been playing well. They're pretty well coached now.
Well, true. Dan Quinn does good early. No, but they are doing really good.
I get it. I mean, they did play the Cleveland Browns, who the main storyline out of this game was, I don't know if you saw it, but Kevin Stefanski wanting to go for it on 4th down inside the red zone when Cleveland somewhat still had a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
Ooh, voice crack. And Deshaun just walked off the field. He was done with the drive. He's like, we're kicking the field goal. That's my decision. I'm walking off the field. Stefanski looked pissed. That was a great $200 and however million contract.
I love Browns seeing the picture like with him with all the Browns jerseys, and there was one that was Falcons jersey. I thought we wanted him. I'm so glad. I've never been so happy I'm not getting a high-profile quarterback at the time.
Speaking of high-profile quarterbacks, I mean, you're giving me some great transitions here into some of these other recaps.
Unintentionally.
The Texans and the Bills, we did not get a very high-profile game out of Josh Allen. 9 for 30 he was in this game. I'm hearing a lot. I didn't watch too much of this game. I watched pretty much the end of the game. I watched the Texans win the game, and I'm hearing a lot, and I saw it on that last drive, how the Bills were backed up inside their own 10-yard line, and you call 3 deep passes in a row. I mean, this is something I said a couple of years ago. Like, on 3rd and 2, Bills would call 4 verts or something like that. And it's like, guys, you need 2 yards. Just get the first. Keep the drive going. And no, you're just trying to...
You have James Cook. Like, you have a running back. Like, you don't have to...
But no, so a lot of Bills fans are calling for Sean McDermott's head. I didn't watch enough of the game to really say that, but C.J. Stroud and the Texans continue to win. They don't look too pretty doing it, but a 23-20 win over a good Buffalo Bills team is something that you start to expect out of a team that's trying to grow to be a powerhouse. I still can't believe that whatever team Joe Flacco goes to, like,
he's doing work at least.
He did it with the Jets. He did it with the Browns, and now he's doing it with the Colts. I mean, he lost the game, but I don't understand.
He's doing well.
I don't understand. Getting into the Giants game this week. Yeah, the Giants beat Seattle. Daniel looked good again, except for when it came to throwing deep. I will say this, there were a lot of plays that his receivers kind of fucked it rather than him. Daniel Jones is a great backup quarterback somewhere. He will be a great backup quarterback somewhere for a team where your quarterback goes down for maybe a couple weeks. He could win you a game or two in there. This was a great win. Our defense absolutely showed why I keep saying that they are a top 10, maybe even top 5 defense in this league. I cannot believe we beat Seattle. I don't believe it. And it's all going to turn around, and we're going to probably look like absolute shit against Cincinnati this week, but it is what it is. First of all, Cowboys-Steelers game. I didn't stay up that late. I was not sitting there watching Pittsburgh and Dallas play. Doesn't look like it was all that great of a game. Again, Dallas's offense needs to wake the fuck up eventually here soon because we're not even into their December slump yet. And then the Chiefs-Saints, I mean, it wasn't really all that great of a game. Travis Kelce finally got used a little bit more, and Derek Carr is probably out for a couple weeks. So here comes the Spencer Rattler train that I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen based on Derek Carr getting benched, not quite hurt.
And it just kind of accelerated the process.
But with all that being said, like I said, it is 47-46. Ben, you have a little bit of a comeback last week, but you're still down. But let's get into these week 5 predictions. This is where I would be introducing Slower, but I'm not. So instead, boom, the predictions are up on the screen right now for you guys to take a look at. Pause the video right now to take a look at your special little team while we get ready to give our predictions for this week. Don't forget to drop your predictions down in the comments below. We get into this week 6 slate, and it starts with the 49ers and the Seahawks for Thursday night. Seahawks coming off a loss against the New York Giants, and I can't pick a team that loses to us. I mean, Seahawks played well against Detroit and then had to play us, and now they're coming. That was a Monday night game to a Sunday to a Thursday. So they're having a rough couple weeks here, and I think it only gets worse with a San Francisco game.
I mean, the good news is they are home, so they don't have to travel necessarily, but it's still... And even though the Niners did lose to the Cardinals, I have the same mindset that
right.
Seahawks lost to the Giants.
We do have our second, I think, London game of the season. Mm-hmm. It is the Chicago Bears going up against the Jaguars, and this is our only differ of the week, so this is your chance to get that 1 point back and potentially take a lead, unless I get a score prediction, right? Please. I've come close. I've come so close a few times.
It's been 5 years. Maybe.
I've had a score prediction. It's not as many as you. But the Jaguars and the Bears, I am picking the Jaguars. They're coming off a win against the Indianapolis Colts, the hot Indianapolis Colts at that. Bears are also coming off a win against the Panthers. But I'm going with the Jaguars here. I think they're the more talented team. I don't even know if I believe that fully. They're more used to playing in London. The Bears aren't. The rookie quarterback, this is first time playing
it's a home game for the Jags.
Yeah, even though the Bears are home. They beat the fuck out of the Falcons last year in Toy Story mode in London. So
why isn't that back, by the way? I want that.
I want another Toy Story game.
Even though it was Atlanta getting their ass kicked, I want another one. It was so janky. It was so fun. I loved it.
Moving on to what I think could be the game of the week, the Ravens and the Commies. Jaden Daniels getting, I think, what could be his first real test. So I think this could be an interesting game. We both did lean Ravens on this one. I literally only did that for home team because I really don't know. Ravens are on a little bit of a hot streak of their own, so it's not... I'm not letting the records really deceive me here. I understand that the Ravens lost their first 2 games, but they seem to have picked it up. Commies are a hot team right now. This is, I think, maybe they're crashed down to reality. I don't know. Did you think anything different? Or
I kind of was leaning more towards like the Ravens being more of a proven team, like a more proven, well-built team. Like, it's weird to say, like, if you told me, like, when we did the preseason, hey, week 6, Ravens Commies, that's gonna be a great game to watch. I'd be like, what the fuck are you on?
And it might end up not being a great game. I mean, that Commies could absolutely fold under pressure, or the Commies could absolutely blow out the fucking Ravens, and then we really have a conversation next week. Eagles Browns, I don't think is that interesting of a matchup. We would talk about the Packers Cardinals if Slower was fucking here. I do think that could be an interesting game, and I thought the Cardinals' record was better than 2-3, but apparently it's not. They've played fairly well this season. The Packers have been kind of like the Falcons this year, up and down, and I know that one hurt slower. So I don't. This one was kind of hard to pick, but again, Packers home, kind of leaning home team here.
Same. I leaned home team on this one, but I could 1,000% see the Cardinals winning this one.
I do think Spencer Rattler debut against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could be interesting. I don't think it turns out very well. I think it could be interesting. We find out if there is any hype behind Spencer Rattler at all, other than the fact that he looks like Patrick Mahomes. Another interesting game before we get into our game has been the Lions and the Cowboys. I can't pick the Cowboys because I haven't seen their offense at all this season, really. The Lions are a great running team. Dallas, ironically, somehow not a great rush defensive team. I do think that the Lions run all over the Cowboys.
I got nothing more to add, really, on that.
This would be a great game for the Cowboys to finally show up. I mean, this would be the great time for them to do it, but that's about it. All right, we get into our games. We'll breeze over yours real quick because it really shouldn't be much of a contest.
I don't like how you say that.
Tell me I'm wrong. Stop me when I'm wrong. The Falcons are definitely capable of choking this game. You stopping me yet? Yeah, I didn't think so. So
fuck off.
Look, we both have the same score, which I think is hilarious. But
I know.
We're getting a phone call.
Oh, do we got the man? Do we got the man, the myth, the legend?
Hello. Do you want to give a hot take real quick while I'm still recording?
Gosh, you're so low.
Your mom's so low.
Are you on disc?
Yeah, I'm on the Discord. Do you want to just get on there? All right. We're going to have slower after all, but let's finish up your Falcons take real quick. We're just going to throw all of this in. I hope that picked up on the microphone well. But yeah, I don't see the Falcons losing this game at all. I mean, I would love to see it. I'm not going to lie to you. I would love to see it. But before we get into the Giants and the Bengals game, and then we'll finish it out with the Monday night game that you're watching with the Bills and the Jets, which we have some Jets story to talk about. Let's get some words from Slower.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
49ers are not going to win a single playoff game.
Okay. I mean, they have not been playing well at all.
I find it hard to believe.
It depends where they place, though. Like, what seed do you think the 49ers end up with?
I'll say 6. I do think they'll pick up.
Who wins the West?
Yep.
Who wins the West?
If you want me to be completely honest with you, I'm going to sound fucking insane. I think the Cardinals can pick it the fuck up. Kyler is playing well.
He just signed a deal with Call of Duty, too. I don't know if anyone knew that. So
I
love that.
Buying into it too. I like the direction they're going. I really do like the direction the Cardinals are going.
And they already have a game on the 49ers.
Do they still have that coach that had like negative 1,000 aura?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So I can't rock on that train, but yeah.
Speaking of Kyler, he's gonna win an award at the end of the year.
Comeback player of the year.
An award.
Honestly, comeback player of the year is probably the best one for him.
Well, they changed it to where it has to be like someone that like didn't. Well, no,
exactly. He was hurt last year.
I forgot about that. He was. That's true.
I think it's really between him and Kirk at this point, but
yeah,
or even Rodgers.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if he picks it up, but right now it's between Kirk.
If he does,
Kyler.
But like, it's Kirk and Kyler. Yeah.
Jesse to go pick up Bill Belichick right now. If they really want to win.
They're just rocking with an interim head coach currently, right?
They're rocking with their defensive coordinator.
Surprised it wasn't Hackett though.
I would like to see Belichick back in action, but
I feel like
I like him better off the field. I'm not gonna lie.
It's kind of funny sometimes.
I like him a lot better off the field. Him and Nick Saban. I like both of them better off the field. For some reason, I just do. I thought I wouldn't, but I do. Because if he really wants it, I'm sure the Jets would happily take him. So I don't think it really relies on the Jets going after him. I think it relies more on Bill wanting it.
You got another one for us?
Oh yeah. If the Bills even want to have a chance at the playoffs, they need Devontae Adams.
No.
Sorry. In the playoffs, not at the playoffs. They're probably going to win that division. In the playoffs.
I'll let you go first, and then I'll say what I think.
I don't think super highly of Davante Adams as he's a great wide receiver for sure, but I don't think he's a difference maker in the aspect of turning a team into, like, turning a bad team good, or, you know, a playoff team into a Super Bowl team or something like that. I don't think he's that caliber of a player anymore. I would agree that the Bills need help because that wide receiver performance last week was absolutely atrocious. I don't think Davante Adams turns the Bills into a much better team than they already are.
I think for me, it would not be a good fit. Because the reason why, as much as there was drama with Diggs, the reason why
it's literally getting another Diggs.
Well, in the sense that Diggs was like he's more like he can go over top.
All right, one more.
Jim Brown was the first NFL rookie to ever win the MVP, and I think Jaden Daniels has a really great chance to break that again. He's going to win the MVP this year. He is playing phenomenally. Before this game, I don't know how it is after this game. Before, he had 23 scoring drives. Out of those 4 games, he only had 18 incompletions. He had more scoring drives than incompletions. And next week, they verse the Ravens. And if they can turn up on the Ravens, they could really put down a huge win for the NFC East.
I mean, we're all in agreement he's winning Rookie of the Year, I think. I can't necessarily disagree with you because I can't think of anyone else I would have as MVP besides, like, Sam Darnold and Baker.
My only issue with it, and I just wanted to look just to make sure that I was right about it, Jaden Daniels isn't putting up the stats to win an MVP. And I know Lamar won MVP last year with not a great stat line, but nobody had a great stat line last year. Jaden Daniels doesn't really rank with anybody right now. He's like 12th in passing yards and like 25th in passing touchdowns. I would like to see it. I'm not sitting here and saying that I would absolutely hate it if Jim Brown's record was gone or something like that. He doesn't have the stats right now. He would have to go ballistic for the next couple weeks. But better late than never. Thank you for joining us, Slower.
Of course.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
Every time I'm about to say goodbye to you, I want to say go Packers just to make you happy. But, like, again, it's just, I don't.
Too easy.
Yeah.
It's all right. You know what, Ben? I know that your heart was broken with 1:52 seconds left when Lavonte David picked off Kirk Cousins. And then you were happy. So
I was stressed as fuck that game, and if I didn't have a headache and I didn't have neighbors in my apartment, I would have screamed, and I probably would have sent a voice memo to Nick being like, fuck you.
All right. Peace out.
Gentlemen. Peace.
He came.
I didn't think you would, but you came.
All right. Finish this off real quick because this is already going to be a long video and a lot of editing for me to do. The Giants going up against the Bengals after a big win against the Seattle Seahawks last week, and then even Cincinnati playing great but a tough loss against the Baltimore Ravens last week. Even after all that, I still can't pick the Giants to win this game. I don't think, especially in a primetime game. I'm not even 100% sure if this is going to be the Sunday night game because I know they wanted to flex the Ravens commies to this. Whatever station has the Ravens commies vetoed it or like said, no, we don't want to give it up. So
I was like, probably wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know whether or not this is staying a Sunday night game. Currently it is. Finishing out the week, the Jets go up against the Bills on Monday night. The Jets going to be with a new head coach. We talked about a little bit with Slower. Robert Saleh got fired just today, actually, when we're recording this, so Tuesday. Kind of make more sense for them to win it now than with Robert Saleh, I guess. But I just think the Bills are going to bounce back after a 9 for 30 performance out of Josh Allen.
You know, I mean, I was kind of debating on more sort of the score, like making it lower scoring because the Jets do have still a really good defense. But I just think the Jets offense is just, even though Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback, I just don't believe.
But that will do it for Nick's Picks Week 6. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the rest of Nick's Picks Season 5 playlist if you've missed any of the episodes thus far this season. Thank you to Slower to actually showing up this week.
Can't let it go. Can't let it go.
Kind of a rough recording session when we don't know he's showing up. Then he calls midway through. Then you have him show up. And then he gives like 5 hot takes. And I'm at a 42-minute recording session. And this is going great. Can't wait to edit this one. Can't wait to see you guys next week in Week 7. Like I said, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, follow us over on Twitch. Make sure you're followed pretty much everywhere that I always have. There's a bunch of links down in the description below for you guys to click. And yeah, Ben, do you have anything more you want to say before we head out of here?
I will tell you this right now. If Atlanta loses, I don't care if it's dramatic fashion. I don't care if it's a close game. I do not care. If Atlanta loses, I will not have a face cam.
That would be
next week.
Oh my god. Well, imagine just all the memes I could
Well,
put.
I know what you can do.
Yeah,
and I don't
imagine what I can
right
do
now.
with that. That's gonna be worse for you, Ben.
I'm just not. I might not even show up. I might just pull hey, I'm sick like SLOWERR.
Yeah.
No,
Have a great one, guys. Peace. I just put like the 28. I'll put the 28-3 next to you. I'll put the.
No, you need to find a screenshot that has all the games that they've blown over like the past like 5 years.
Yeah,
there's
there's
still
gotta be.
If you look at the Ravens, it's surprisingly less than that, which is kind of surprising. But
Yeah, the Ravens have managed to outclass you in that aspect. How does that feel?
I didn't think it was possible.
Hey, you can't. You're not. You can't even be the best at anything. Like you gotta. Like, can't have anything
But
as
you
a
know
Falcons
what?
fan, I guess.
You know what? If not being good at choking away football games is taken away, I'll take that at least.
Whatever.
Peace.